Newspapers, magazines, comic books, they're all dying. They're having to evolve into something else because the distribution is very expensive. It's very expensive to ship uh, lots of paper around the country, around the world. It's become very expensive and it's not efficient because you can read it in a matter of seconds even if you are literally on the other side of the world. So the distribution of periodicals on themselves, they have become obsolete. Why wait to the next day to read the news if you can have it right this second? They are happening right now, and you can find them on Twitter, from your Twitter thread. Obviously, they are not going to disappear. They just have to evolve. And graphic novels is just an extension of the whole thing because as a business, you needed to sell continuously to sustain the business. But if you are talking about graphic novels have a long shelf life. Comic books don't. You sell them for 15 days, 2 weeks, 1 month, and then they are off the shelf. And then they become garbage, or not garbage, but collectibles. Well, I'm sorry. They have a really short shelf life, and they are very expensive to produce. And when you do a graphic novel, it can stay for a long time in the library, in the bookstore. Brian mentioned that there's a lot of attention going for graphic novels. I agree, they have won Pulitzers. They have won important, let's not say comic awards, but awards that are awarded to great fine art. And for example, there's a girl named Raina Telgemeier that has several graphic novels. They're quite simple, quite fun to read, and they have been in the New York Times bestseller list like for years. And she gets one every year or every 2 years, and they're successful, very successful. So the language is changing, the game is changing, and what we have to do is to adapt. And honestly, I think that the old way of comic books as in magazines that you go every day, every week, or every month to buy to a comic book store is going the way of the dodo, and the comic book stores, they are going to have to adapt. Fortunately for them, people can get really into fandoms right now. So maybe you won't sell them comic books, but you can sell them graphic novels and merchandise and memorabilia or things that are associated to something. I'm not going to say that people are not buying Star Wars things right now. There's a lot of that going on, and it will keep on happening. They will survive, but the whole business has to adapt to the change of the convenience of having to move quick because the world is getting faster, and that's what I want to say.
So speaking of the awards, the first graphic novel, my wife took early retirement from academia, and I suggested she write a graphic novel. And it became the first British graphic novel to win a major literary award. It won the Costa Award for biography, which is a very prestigious award in Britain. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. But graphic novels, you say the shops need to evolve. There's a store in Nottingham, which is called Page 45, and I think that's sort of one of the futures. They could go one way, they could go the Forbidden Planet way, the Forbidden Planet chain of shops, and sell lots of toys and merchandising, as you said. Or they could go the Page 45 way, which is Page 45. It looks like a regular bookstore. It looks like, I don't know if you know Waterstone's chain, but it's very tasteful, black paint, big plate glass windows that just have 1 or 2 books showcased against black with perhaps a couple of blow-ups of panels and it looked very stylish. So it's not like a regular comic store. It's not got posters of bimbos in the window, or muscle men, or toys. So, which to the general public, they look at that and go, oh, like, well, why do I need to go into that? But once you go inside, it's nice carpet, black oak bookshelves, and it just sells graphic novels. And they're all there, face out. They're very well stocked. The staff's very motivated and always go and talk to customers. And they make money. They make a lot of money just selling graphic novels. And I've seen, and the doors are open, so it's easy for people to just walk in off the street. Like it's on High Street. It's not down to a back alleyway with a sign saying Lobo's Lair, Fantasy Bastards or something. It's just got page 45, which is non-committal, it's non-genre. It was actually inspired by page 45 of Understanding Comics. That's where we got the title from.